Hey wood finishers. So I've transitioned into my mixing phase, and I've got the things that I need. I was able to mix up this semi-gloss finish a little bit more, or this varnish I should say. So this one is ready to go now, so I want to try that one as well. I also mixed up an amount of the high gloss. So I'm going to do a side-by-side of all those, and then I can test that against the polyurethane as well, and that way I know. Okay, so I have my scale, I've got some type of a mixing container, I've got my distribution tool here, which is a little turkey baster, which is fantastic, assuming this diameter fits inside the openings of our finishes. The other thing that I have is a container for storage. These plastic things are good for short term, but they don't really hold up long term, as you can imagine. So this one is brand new. You can see that this rim is untouched, which I actually don't love. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create some little drain openings with a scratch awl, and if no other reason to do this, it's fun to do. So alright, so doing this, that way any finish that might get trapped in that little gutter or rim, it will dump back down into the container, which is where I want it. Alright, so that's where I'm going to store things. Alright, so when using a digital scale, make sure I have everything, yeah, good. The other thing I should say is that I have a container here that is mineral spirits, so I can clean off my turkey baster when I'm done with each one of the ingredients. Alright, so there's this calibration cycle. Whenever you turn these things on, it will go to 0 regardless of what is on. If I take this off, I'm 0.2 under 0 at the moment. So I could do this and then just mix everything straight into this container. I would just have to recalibrate. But the problem with this is that I like to store and measure in 2 different containers. The reason for it is if I overshoot one of these, then I don't want the whole mix to go bad. I want to be quasi-scientific about this as much as possible. Alright, so starting with my Spar Varnish. It will be thicker, so it's going to be tougher to get in here. Oops, especially if you have something stopping it up. So calculations of these, so I want 40% of this, and I don't need a lot just to test this out. So I could just go to 100. Oh no, I made a major mistake here. Sorry, everyone. I wanted to measure in grams. I thought I was measuring in grams, and I realized I made a horrible error. All right, so grams are much more accurate. I thought I had set that. Sorry, everyone. So grams. So listen, Canada and the rest of the world figured it out long ago. Measuring in grams or milliliters is much easier than ounces, and I think the accuracy, especially in smaller quantities. So Canada, do you hear me? You were right. All right, so I have exactly 20 grams in there. Don't need that to go there. All right, so while I clean this thing off, I'm going to let that go away. Alright, I also overspilled a little bit. Alright, so hopefully I'm ready to read at 0 again, but I'm not. Alright, so at 0, I'm on grams. Going for my boiled linseed oil. So if I have 20 grams in there first, now I'm going to go with 15 grams of boiled linseed oil. There we go. That goes in there. And the last step is going to be mineral spirits. Alright, so I will also need 15 grams of mineral spirits as well. Oops, or 16. Or 17. Alright. There goes my scientific conversation. Alright. So at this point, I have my mixture, my ratio is accurate. That's good. So this will stay in this container and be well sealed. Alright, the last step in all of this process is documentation. So I need to make sure that I know what is in which container and what I'm doing with it. So this one is going to be my semi-gloss mix. I did 40% varnish, 30 boiled linseed oil, 30 min spared. Okay, so that's labeled. This one I want to label here. If you want to reuse this container, you can do tape on top of this, but this is going to be my high gloss. That's right. And then I'll go 40, 30. All right. Then the last step in this process is to test it out. So I have a board that's been prepared, and I have 3 different segments here that I want to apply these different finishes with or on. And with these wipe-on finishes, it's super easy to apply, so I wanted to just wipe this stuff on. So I've drawn out little lines here, but I'm just going to try to trace them the best I can. I kind of don't care how pretty the lines are. I just want to make sure to apply a good amount of material on these coats. With this wipe-on finish, it's going to start to dry in certain spots, so I want to make sure to reapply, keep it wet, and then I'll wipe off the excess. I'll do the same process over here, and then on these edges, I'm going to label exactly what I have distributed where. After this is all done, I've got 3 coats, at least 3 coats each. Then I think I'll have a good sample board to know exactly what it is I've done and what works. All right, hopefully that was helpful. See you.